Every town has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker. Hey everyone, happy Thursday night. We are back here on the Ghost Biker Garage, and I am your host, the Ghost Biker, and we are back with another great guest. I'm so excited to have Miss Beth Allen on tonight. We're going to be having a really fun conversation about the great things that they've got going on up at Octagon Hall Museum, as well as her venture Soul on Blaze, and then just some of the interesting experiences that she's had throughout her paranormal journey. But before we get to that, I just want to come on here for just a little bit and talk to the folks who are over here in the chat room. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I know we've been a little bit sporadic with our show. Hopefully, once we get past the busy spooky season, we will be back on a regular schedule. And actually, once we kick off spooky season with the Ghost Biker Exploration Season 8, we will be back on schedule with shows on Tuesday nights and follow up behind the screens on Thursday nights. So hopefully all that will get back into routine here very, very soon. We've been very, very busy at the historic Scott County Jail and historic Rugby After Dark here during the summer months. We've been offering tours on Thursday nights. So it's been just a little bit sporadic. We did have a paranormal investigation last Thursday night at the jail, so I was unable to pop on. I was working that one, and I was unable to pop on with the live show. Before that, our last live show that we had was with Carl and Pam. They're with Appalachian Ghost Tours out of West Virginia. We had a great conversation with them about the events that they've got coming up through the remainder of the year. And she even kind of teased about a few that they had coming up next year. So if you missed that episode, go back and check them out. That is Appalachian Ghost Tours. And that show, I believe, was 2 weeks ago. We had that. So anyways, thank you all so much for bearing with us with our crazy schedule and tuning in tonight. Just want to say hello to the folks over here in the chat room. Miss Nancy Weems, thank you so much for tuning in. Bob Burnell, always wonderful to see you. Bob is one that's on every week. And actually, a lot of the folks over here in the chat room are ones that are on every week. Miss Sonia Thompson, glad you are back here in the U.S. and tuning in to us live here. Daryl Paulette, they're with Clover Hill Village as well as the Appomattox Jail. I know they've been rocking and rolling with their tours and with their investigations over there. If you've not been over to check out the Appomattox Jail or Clover Hill Village, you're totally missing out. You got to definitely go see Daryl and see what the village there as well as the jail has to offer. Kim Brady, hello. Good to see you again. I know a lot of you folks tuned in during our show during the 7 p.m. hour over on the historic Scott County Jail page. We were celebrating our 4-year grand unlocking anniversary. We unlocked the jail 4 years ago today, and it's been great. It's been absolutely amazing. We shared for that hour. We actually shared some of the things that we've had the opportunity to accomplish with the historic preservation of the jail, as well as historic Rugby After Dark, and just kind of talked about some of our favorite moments. An hour was not a long enough time to really cover everything, but it was a very fun conversation between myself and Dr. Sumner talking about some things that's been going on over the past 4 years. Hello to James Brady and Melvin Brazell, Hound Dog there. Always good to see you, Pops. I know I've got one of your favorite people on the show tonight. I'm glad you're tuned in. LinkedIn user. I'm not sure who you are, but I know you're on here. Thank you. Thank you so much. We've got Kimberly on. She says she absolutely loves the Scott County Jail. Thank you, Kimberly. We definitely appreciate that. Appreciate your support and appreciate you visiting the jail there. And she also says, happy anniversary. Hope there's many more years to come. We absolutely hope so. Like I said, a lot's gone on in the last 4 years. We're hoping we've got about 15 exhibits that we're working on there at the jail. Hopefully, our goal has been to try to get some of those new exhibits up before spooky season. We're trying to work that in with the two of us. It's a little harder to get everything that we want accomplished, but we have a schedule full of tours there at the jail, as well as with rugby. We've also got guided ghost hunts on the schedule and private paranormal investigations. We're going to be offering these Thursday through Sunday night. If you have a large group of at least 4 to 6, we will offer on some of the other days of the week for our tours, but you got to reach out to us. And I do just want to say that sometimes we book up pretty quick. So I'm just going to pull up these links here. So sometimes we book up kind of quick and you're not always able to get in the date of the tour. So if at all possible, if you are looking to make a trip to the jail to take one of our flashlight tours or our guided ghost hunts, we definitely suggest you booking that in advance so that you're able to guarantee to get on that list, as well as the historic rugby after dark. We offer 2 tours there, and those do book up. So if you visit historyhighwayshaunts.com, that will send you to either the jail or to rugby to do your bookings there. And like I said, we do have lots of dates still open, but those are booking up pretty quick. We've gotten quite a few bookings just in the last couple days here. So October and September are quickly booking up. So anyways, I want to get to tonight's guest because we've got a lot of topics to cover. I know a lot of you know her. If you don't, you're going to definitely get to know her tonight, and you're going to want to go follow her pages and see all the interesting stuff she's doing, as well as get involved with some of the different tours and novice hunts and stuff that she hosts. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Beth is, she's one of my dear friends. I had the pleasure of meeting her. I guess at this point, it's been 3, maybe 4 years ago. Yeah, it was in 2020. Had the opportunity to meet Miss Beth Allen in person, and we became instant friends. I love following what she's doing and watching her grow in the paranormal. She's the director of operations there at Octagon Hall, as well as the founder of Soul on Blaze. So if you will, please help me in welcoming Miss Beth Allen. Hey,
Hello,
Beth.
sister.
Hey.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been, we didn't say a whole lot about it today because we've been busy all day, but Chris and I were kind of talking about it earlier out at the bank, and we were like, this is time has really flown. It's been
It has.
it's hard to believe it's been 4 years that we're still around.
Yeah, well, y'all hit it running and you never slowed down. And I've been so proud to watch what you all have accomplished, not just with that, but everything you all have done within the paranormal community.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I said it on the show earlier. That's probably my favorite part about doing all of this is all of the amazing people that we've had the opportunity to meet. Some that, not in the paranormal side, but on the historical preservation side of things, as well as folks that were just traveling to the area. And then these wonderful teams that have come. We've had the opportunity to not only meet some very amazing people, but to learn some things because, if you're not learning, you're not growing, and everybody brings so many unique gifts and experiences to the table when it comes to the paranormal. So I think personally, that's my favorite side of all this is just all the people you meet.
And that's what I've got out of it. I've gotten a whole family, and to watch everybody grow and whatever they choose to do. And historic preservation is, I think, the most important thing to all of us. My thing is, I wish I had done better tonight and looked better because I'm like, get to be on my favorite show that I've followed forever.
Well, I'm glad to have you as a guest. I know that it's been kind of hard to get schedules to line up, and you're a very busy
Oh,
person,
yeah.
and so I'm just I get to see you when we do our lives. And when we do our shows and stuff through the season, you come on, and I mean you have a very unique gift. And you're pretty spot on some of the things we've encountered, especially at the jail. So I love it whenever we're doing a live and you pop into the chat room there. But before we get into all that, for folks that maybe don't know you, um, tell us who you are and about your paranormal journey, kind of how you got started with this.
Well, sometimes I'm Beth Allen. It just depends on what I was accused of doing. Um, I have been actively investigating for a little over 30 years because I started, teenage years going out with our little tape recorders and all that. And I've had experiences since I was a young child. I'd never had anybody to guide me, though. So I really didn't know what was going on. The ones that I remember, I mean, I was in houses that I knew they were safe, but it was like, wait a minute, there's all this going on. Both of my grandparents' homes had different stuff and activity. My great grandmother's home in Virginia. So it was a bit of a drop off. You grow up, you have kids, and I kind of, I just always thought I was going to be a great detective. I never understood, especially my children would be like, how did you know what we were doing before we were even doing it? So I kind of ran with it. And then I came back and I got more involved in the community instead of out on my own.
Mhm.
And I started volunteering at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, met a lot of wonderful people there. And then I got to meet you at the Old Stone Jail. And it was so funny because they're sitting there looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, the Ghost Biker's here. And they're like, what? I'm like, everybody get out of the way. And, you had an impact on my journey. I was very unsure about podcasting, and you inspired me to just go for it. And I never thought I'd go in and do like 4 or 5 shows a week, but I did. And that was a lot. I found out the hard way.
It's
And
tough.
then it was a lot. And then it got to the point I was like, let's slow down because I wanted to get out more to different locations. I ended up
Yeah.
for a brief time on staff at Waverly Hills. But Octagon Hall, like it didn't take me but one time. And I kept coming back. I kept coming back. And, having Melvin in my life,
Yeah.
having Bear in my life,
Yeah.
Tanya and Billy, there was just that attachment to the hall. And I never thought that I would be doing this by myself. I always thought that Bear would be with me on this journey, and he still is. But I do that for his legacy, for Billy Bird's legacy, and the hall is my life at this point. I mean, everything I do, I want to make sure the hall is taken care of, and sharing that with Isaac Jones, who is the executive director. He's Billy Bird's grandson, and we get to see and carry on what they started.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just Bear was one that was always an inspiration to me. And just he was when Ghost Bikers started, I did his show the night that my first episode, season 1, episode 1 premiered. I did his show just before, and then it became a tradition to do his show right before my season. So this is kind of almost like carrying on tradition, having you on the show here
Yeah.
just before, because this year with Bear passing in January, that's, won't be able to obviously to do that, at the start of this season. And so, but such such amazing stewards, him and Billy Bird, of the
Yes.
history of Octagon Hall and the paranormal in general. So, I know that you've got some big shoes that you're filling there, and you're doing an amazing job with that.
I thank you for that because, and here's the thing, we're getting ready probably this month. If not this month, we'll do it in November. We're going to retire the Into the Fire show because that was his, and it will never be the same without him.
No.
But we want people to have one last time to experience that. I love you, brother. I see you in there.
And so I do want to mention some of the comments over here. For those of you that are just tuning in, we've got Beth Allen from Octagon Hall over here. And let's see, Kimberly says we're from Orion's Paranormal and we'll be back soon and to do one investigation at Rugby. I got to meet Kimberly this past week when they did a Thursday night investigation, Thursday night last week investigation there at the jail. Now, let's see. And she also says an amazing experience at the jail. Will also go follow the pages for Octagon Hall. And she asks Beth what platforms you're on. So if you want to go ahead and tell us right now, and then we will also follow up at the end of the show, your platforms there your pages. I know we've got some in the show notes there.
Facebook. Yeah. Facebook, TikTok. I'm working on some stuff trying to get social media going, and that's a whole nother job for people like me that are like, what button do I push? I'm on TikTok for Soul on Blaze and Facebook, and I'm getting to where I'm posting more. And my Soul on Blaze page is part of my Lantern and Lore Society, which is flashlight tours and stuff like that. So it'll be growing, but I thank you very much for following.
Absolutely. And so, like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And thank you for your question there, Kimberly. Hello to Sylvain. Thank you so much for watching here. And then, of course, we've got Mr. Billy Sims here, who wants to say he's very proud of you, Beth. I know a lot of us are. And of course, we got Melvin in here. You couldn't have a better team of folks there behind you.
No, they are all amazing individuals, and they've touched not just my life, but many lives. And they're some of the OGs out here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So for those of folks who don't know about Octagon Hall, let's talk a little bit about that and your role there at the hall. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but let's talk just a little bit about Octagon Hall for those that don't know.
Well, I am the director of operations, and Mr. Isaac Jones is the executive director of the Octagon Hall Foundation. I also have a maintenance director because Beth does not chop down trees or wrangle snakes, and his name is Brandon Ellis. The hall is a very, very special place, and it's very unique. I've done a lot of research, and I'm going to be writing the book about Octagon Hall. And some of the research I've found is a little different than what we first thought. We have always thought that the hall started being built in 1847, but I found some documents with an architect out of Nashville stated in the 1920s, he thought it started being built between 1843, 1844. But we do know that it was not finished until 1859, and we're still not sure if it was completely done. It was Andrew Jackson Caldwell. He was a 33rd degree Mason. That's why you have the octagon shape. There are several things about the property that signal to Masonic influence. 13-foot ceilings, 13 stairs going down into the basement, the placement of the windows, the front doors. It's on the 37th parallel and ancient Palo Indian ground. So it's been through a lot. We don't want people to think that it was just a horrible place all the time. There were lots of children born there, lots of families that were displaced during the Civil War. It was touched by the Civil War. There are people that, of course, they just put out whatever they put out and they really don't know the history. There were no
Yeah.
battles fought on this property. There were scrimmages on the outskirts of the county. It was not a stop on the Underground Railroad, which that one's a lot. And I
I'm
think it's
sure.
often confused. We do have two tunnels. They were Lore in Simpson County for many years, but Western came out. Billy Wilkerson has been out with ground penetrating radar as well, and the tunnels are there. And it's, I guess when people hear Underground Railroad, they automatically assume that slaves were running through tunnels. Not the case, and definitely not at Octagon Hall. One of those tunnels goes out between two of our barns. It drops down 65 feet into the cave system, and that cave system runs into Mammoth Caves. The other tunnel leads to a 40-foot room, 12-foot underground. So
Okay.
it's a very interesting place. It did see some family tragedy, um, but it's only seen two owners. Not bad for a
That's
house that's
amazing.
almost 200 years old.
No, no.
Yeah.
And so do you think you all will ever I know a lot of it goes in, there's cost involved and opportunity and stuff. Do you think that you all will ever go down and excavate any of those tunnels, or is that something that um, maybe you're not going to do unless, I don't know, would it be too disruptive?
We would love to because, of course, we know they're collapsed. But
Yeah.
once again, state of Kentucky, weirdest state in the country. Um, Being on cave system, we risk losing the house to sinkholes. And moving from Georgia to here has been, I don't want to call it a culture shock, but I learned a lot
Sure.
about sinkholes, straight line winds, and more tornadoes. And that's the biggest worry with us because we also have all the elements of a haunting, built on limestone foundation with an underground water source.
Mm,
So I think it would just be really hard to
yeah.
risk. We won't even dig a trench for internet because with the house being 3 bricks deep,
Hmm.
internet's not gonna go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would love to know what's in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Is there, are any of them directly under the house?
Um, they come out of the winter kitchen, but it's just that
Okay.
one underground creek. I call it a sinking creek,
Gotcha. Okay.
that
Yeah.
runs straight underneath.
Mhm.
I see my child. Hello, honey.
I was just about to pull that
That
up. And that is amazing that the house only had 2 owners, and that probably is why it's in such good shape as it's in, is because of
Yeah.
having just the 2 owners.
And I found out some interesting information again because I'm constantly researching because I
Mhm.
love facts. I mean, paranormal research is great and it does help in a lot of areas, but I like to have hard copy stuff if I can.
Yeah.
Um, so when the second owner, Dr. Miles Williams, bought the house, he was not going to keep it. He was going to tear it
Oh,
down and use the brick to build another building. But
what?
his friend was the architect that came in and told him pretty much, that's not a good idea. When he got the house, two walls were down and the roof was kind of hanging off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that and his wife asked him one time, uh, "Well, Miles, how much did it cost to restore the house?" And his reply to her was, "I don't know, and I don't want to know."
Wow. Now,
So
did
he put a lot into it.
it sounds like it. So, so when was it put on the historic registry? Do you know?
Uh, there's varying different things. Some of them say 68. I
Okay.
was under the impression it was in the 80s.
Okay.
Of
So,
course, I don't have my notes with me because there's so many dates with the hall, I get them confused.
yeah,
But I
and I
do
don't want to
know it
put you
was
on the
one of
spot.
but it was one of the first, I think it was the third place put on the registry in this county.
Okay. Because that's the cool thing about where you're located at is there are several great places with paranormal, well, not just paranormal activity, but amazing history, just located within a few miles of Octagon
Oh,
Hall.
yeah.
You're in a very unique
Franklin,
place.
Kentucky is very interesting, and they always joke with me up here. They're like, "We've lived here our whole lives, and you know more about Franklin than we do." I'm like, "Because I find it very interesting, and it's easy to get." I don't want to say easy. Let me rephrase that. Um, they have so many great records,
Hmm.
and if you just look, you can find it. And they have a great historical society.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time there too. So, and is it haunted? Absolutely. Every inch of this place has got something crawling somewhere.
And it's a trifecta, really, of activity, not just paranormal, but UFOs,
Yeah.
Bigfoots, other cryptids. I mean, that was always one of my favorite things when I would come up to see Bear was spending time on the porch, listening to him tell,
Yes.
or even when he would call and he'd be like, "You're not going to believe what Dave and Jenny and I and Beth and Night Stalkers what we experienced sitting on the porch." And it was always one, the man could tell a story. Two, his laugh was infectious. And he would tell a story and then he would end it with that big booming laugh. And he's just like, I have
Always.
no idea. I have no idea what, you just never know. That's the hall for you. And
Yep.
so I pulled up James' comment, and you know, you definitely if you get the opportunity to go to Franklin and investigate, you've got to
Yeah.
reach out to Beth, do the hall,
You won't be
investigate the
disappointed at all.
no,
At all. You won't be disappointed.
no, and Orion's Paranormal. I think that was one of the places I mentioned to you guys last week when you were down talking about different locations. You definitely got to check out Octagon Hall and Old Stone Jail up in the area. You can get two places in a weekend there. Um, so you all have some very interesting events that are coming up. I want to make sure we hit on those because the
Gotcha.
novice hunts that you do a lot of time and effort, and you're working with some great teams on these. So I'm going to go to
Oh, yes.
the events page here on your website, and if you wouldn't mind talking a little bit about these novice hunts that you guys have going on.
Well, our October novice hunts are our biggest fundraiser of the year. This year we get 5 weekends, so it will be nonstop. I haven't got to announce it yet, but one of them has already sold out. The
Oh,
Vixens have already sold
congratulations!
out,
Of course.
um, and a couple of others are getting quite close. What we do is we like to have small groups, so we only sell 12 tickets for each night, and you're there from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. And all of the teams that I have coming this year, they have a relationship with the hall, or they have been around. A couple of them are handpicked by Bear. I stayed with it this year for
Mhm.
him. Of course, you know all about PRGI, which they're a
I
great
do.
team.
Yep.
They have the thing about them that I just tell people all the time. Their relationship with the hall is amazing because they have the most consecutive investigations of Octagon Hall than any other paranormal team other than Night Stalkers.
I would
Every
believe that.
year for over 20 years, 2 nights a year, they're always there. And when they are there, I've investigated with them. I have nothing to say other than I didn't know what I was thinking until they were there. They have great nights. EPI is out of, I believe they're out of Indiana. Um, Bear saw their just regular investigation, and he
Mhm.
was so blown away by the way the team was like, I mean, fine oil machine. And they've done other novice hunts at other locations. So we brought them down this year to do the hall. The Vixens, all female paranormal team out of Tennessee. They've been around the block a time or two.
Mhm.
Next Gen Paranormal, those are my para children. Um, Cameron and pretty much half their team grew up coming to the hall. They've been coming for over 15 years. They started coming up there when they were about 15 years old. So Cameron, it's funny to think about them being little kids because they're the same age as my children. Uh, but they're great guys. And they're very, to me, they represent a very scientific approach.
They're
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
proud of them. And of course, us Night Stalkers and Proof After is Brandon Ellis's team. They will be there Halloween this year. Night Stalkers, we're still rocking. And the great thing is, and I'm loving to see it, especially this year, so many people came to some of our novice hunts during the summer, and it's the same people. They just keep coming back. And that's what we like to see. They have a great time. They don't really want to start their own team, but they want to enjoy investigating. And it's great every time. And the tickets are
And
only $60. Not
I'm
bad.
pulling up the link here. No, that's not bad at all because and how long are the investigations? I was going to pull
They're from
up.
7 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Okay. Okay. I put the link in the show notes there as well as in the comment section, and I'm going to pull that up right here. Um, and if you go to the Octagon Hall Museum website and go to the events tab, it's got them all nicely laid out there. And then you just go through, it's got information about each one. If you want to go through and find out more about the teams, um, like I said, Beth has kind of broke that down a little bit. But if you want to find out more about the teams, then you can definitely go and do that. Because I know PRGI. I know they put evidence out there on their page as
Oh,
well
yeah.
as Night Stalkers has done the same thing. So you can go and you can find and so does Elite Vixen. So and I'm sure the rest of the
Yes.
folks do too. So you can guarantee, I know, and I can definitely vouch for this because you guys are very particular about people that investigate at the hall, and you're very, very choosy about your teams that you allow to do these novice hunts because the hall is such a unique place. So,
Yes.
so you can guarantee you can't go wrong with any of those teams that you have on your novice
No,
hunt.
and I'm proud of all of them. And the hall is a very special place, and we're not one of those places. I mean, we're not saying we are the most haunted in the world or none of that, but I will say we're very active.
Yeah.
And it's different kind, like you touched on earlier. We have it all. Uh just in the last month and a half, Bigfoot is acting up. I mean, it's been every weekend. None of these people know each other. They're all coming to me, and then we're there, we're leaving, like, what just happened? I mean, it's all kinds of stuff, UFOs, dogman, um, you name it, we've seen it or we've got it. And so
That's right.
we try to make sure, because so many people don't understand. Yes, it's great fun paranormal investigating, but you have to be safe. And far too many people take it very loosely. And so that's why we're so particular about the property. And unfortunately, and one of the things I'm so proud of with Billy Bird and Bear, they always operated off the honor system.
Mm,
It was those were the kind of men they were. But unfortunately, in today's world, we have to make sure these locations are protected. We've had stuff come up missing. We've had property damaged. So thank you for that.
yeah.
That's one thing, we've stood by. I did see that they had asked about coming to Octagon Hall. We do
Yes.
have some requirements. We do require that you have 2 years verifiable experience as a paranormal team. We do not allow solo investigations because it's
Yeah.
Kentucky and you're on 300 acres of land. There are lions, tigers, and Bigfoot. Oh my. Um, just we do have a waiver that you have to sign when you come to the location. We do not uh, currently allow live social media. Uh, there's a handful of people that are allowed to do that. I am one of them. And I don't even do it that much because you
Yeah.
miss everything when you
Yeah.
do that on a serious investigation. Uh,
Mm.
we do have a commercial filming fee for people like that. And, I check you out. I'm not going to lie. I ask questions if I don't know you. Um, I've had some great people though.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
Mm-hmm.
really met too many people that I'm like, hey man, these are great people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, share what you got.
Mm-hmm.
But our first and foremost, our loyalty is to that building and that property and the spirits, because those are not my family members. The Caldwells, not at all. The slaves that are buried on the property, they are not my blood kin. But I am responsible for their home. I am responsible for some of their graves, and I take that very, very seriously.
Good for you. And we've got the paranormal page pulled up on here, and it does list everything. They are 18 and up, like we are there at the jail. But the great thing is they really break it all down in these frequently asked questions here of different information that maybe we didn't cover on here. You can find a lot of that. But if you have if you want to get more information about a paranormal investigation or one of the novice hunts there, you can definitely reach out through the website or through the Facebook page. And I know that Beth will be happy to answer any questions there.
Yeah, I mean, just feel free to call. I answer the phone. Um, well, you guys call me. Maybe we can work something out
I know.
because we do guided. We could do a guided. Um, I don't do that for a lot because I'm a one woman operation for the most part.
We know about running things on a tight
Right,
ship
right.
here. Yeah, and I can say, when we had Orion's out last Thursday night, they were fantastic. And so uh, it's and they're looking for places to investigate. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and you can confirm, Kim, I think they're out of Virginia. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So,
I mean,
and
because
she said,
we do different things. We're not as look. I'm not as a well fine tuned machine as Chris and Miranda, but they're teaching me. So there's a lot of like, because I'm doing flashlight tours now, um,
Yes.
and I'm not opposed to doing on property like that is mentioned. I don't know if it's on the website now, but one of the things that Bear would do is if you didn't have the experience, reach out to me. And what will happen is you'll just be stuck with me all night long. I'm not that bad, really. I'm kind of fun.
She is really good, and like I said, she's got some skills and abilities there that we'll talk about here in just a little bit that she can really help when it comes to when it comes to investigating, and that's the other thing too. You know, if people are just, and we've seen this at the jail, and I'm sure you've seen this, if people are just honest and upfront, I know a lot of people want to inflate, you know, their time that they've had in the
Right.
paranormal, and you know that's fine. You can do that, but it will show up. You
Right.
know, you will
Yes,
get
definitely.
and you know, we can always
Somebody will
learn.
tell.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
the
and
spirits know.
like they tell, look, we know.
Yeah.
If I could had a dollar for every time I'm sitting in the dining room, mom's on the couch and Bear's in his office, and mom hears feet and chairs and heavy footsteps, me and him run into each other. We got to go to the hall. And sure enough, we show up and there's people standing out there going, "Oh my God." I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, or every time you meet a 25-year-old that has 45 years of paranormal investigating experience. It's
Those are
yeah, you
my
know.
favorites. I mean, and the thing is, it's just like, so how old do you think I am? I'm like,
Exactly. I mean,
I
you
started
know,
investigating when I was 6 months old. I'm like, oh, cool.
exactly. But that's the thing. I mean, just, you know, be upfront about things because
Yeah.
I love
It's
it
not a
when
contest.
no, it's not a contest, it's not a competition, and if somebody comes in, I love it when people do come in and they're like, you know, they wanna actually sit down and talk about the experiences you've had, the experiences they've had,
Right.
and ask questions about, I mean, because obviously we go in with a certain type of energy, somebody else goes in with a different type of energy, and the spirits
Right.
react to that. And so I know when we're giving the tours, we'll tell people, we'll say, you know, here are some things that have worked for us. If it gets quiet, here's something to try. But by
Right.
all means, try your own style because you may bring out different activity that we couldn't bring out. But this is just sort of
Right.
what we've experienced. I mean, we're in the building at least 16 hours a day, at least 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And, you know, we're in there.
Right.
So we can see what other people have experienced. We can see what we've experienced. And so I love it when people come in and they just want to have a sincere conversation because they're wanting to have this interaction with the spirits. They're not looking for some
Right.
dramatic, you know, yeah, we get pictures thrown off the wall. We get crazy things happening, but sometimes it's the subtle experiences that are the best because they're the ones that open your mind and get you to thinking about other things that maybe
Right.
you didn't think about. So I absolutely love that. And I
And
love that approach.
I love, I love people to share like their experience. I mean, just
Mhm.
because like you and Chris, you have a wonderful connection and relationship with the spirits there. They
Yeah.
and they interact with each one of you in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
they know, trust me, especially when I got one of yours coming to visit me and I'm like, "Steve, what are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And it's everybody's listening during a spirit box session and they're like, "He says his name's Steve. He's from the jail." I'm like, "Steve, go home."
Go
And they're
home. We
like, "Do
miss
you
you
know
at
who
the
he
jail.
is?" I'm like, "I'm going to call Miranda and tell her you're here." I'm like, what's going on? Like,
Call the warden.
but
One's
that's
escaped.
right, right. Come back. They're like, Beth, how do you know this? I'm like, okay, so if you go back and you watch an episode, I'm like, he
Yeah.
belongs to Chris and Miranda. And then it did get validated because they
Yeah.
asked him, where are you from? And clear as day, Huntsville. I was like, yeah, he got to go
Wow.
home. And they're fun though. I mean, that's the thing. That's the relationships we have with
Hmm.
them. Uh,
Absolutely. That.
Harriet, she comes to town.
Hmm.
Like I was investigating at the Old Stone Jail and the Historical Society, and Harriet comes through, but they have something that belonged to Harriet down there.
Okay. And that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Huh. Wow. Um I'm just kind of looking over here at the comments here. Orion's Paranormal said that they will definitely give you a call, Beth. And
That'd be
Billy
great.
says, always loved the story of you drawing Bear before you ever met him. Yeah, that
That's
to
his
me,
favorite.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I highlighted that in my episode there of um, I guess it was season 5, episode 4, I believe. And
Yeah, and Papa's got that in here on the wall. He has it in here on the wall.
yeah, it was an amazing experience. And to me, I just feel like we were supposed to have that connection. And for anyone that doesn't know that, just briefly, you know, sometimes I'll draw when I'm in a location. I don't do it as often as I would like. It's almost like I call it subconscious sketching, but it's almost like automatic writing in a way, except it was drawing. And I used the paranormal tools to validate that as I'm asking questions. And while I was at Octagon Hall investigating with PRGI, actually, when I was a member of their team, sitting down there drawing, Mark was downstairs with me. And I started seeing features and I started asking questions. The tools were lighting up and validating what I was writing and or what I was drawing. And I drew a man and he was even wearing a floppy hat. I'd never met Bear before. And as Beth said earlier, PRGI would always do a 2-night investigation. And so that was the first night. And second day, we went back after the hall had closed and we were getting ready to set up for the second night of investigating. And Mark comes around the corner and he said, I think you need to come out here and bring your sketch pad with what you drew last night. And he said, you need to see something. And I go around the corner and I literally, I think I turned probably 3 shades of white and my mouth dropped wide open. I met Bear and it was the man I had drawn. And what is so fascinating to me about the whole thing is that when I was talking to the spirits, I told them, I said, I want you to show me something that I'm going to be able to go back and identify later. And in my mind, I was thinking a picture of, you know, maybe a slave. A slave was what I was originally thinking because it was in the winter kitchen.
Right.
And so I thought maybe one of the slaves or maybe one of the, I don't know, when I started drawing a man, I thought maybe a slave trader, a soldier. And oh, they gave me something I could identify. And I firmly
They
believe
sure did.
they had such a strong connection with Bear that they set that up. The spirits did. And I'll
Oh,
see
yeah.
while we're talking there if I can find that picture because I know I've got that picture
Hold on.
myself.
You got it. If not,
Somewhere
he's
here.
got,
Let's see.
because let me tell you something. He told everybody about that. And then it was just like, he's like, I couldn't believe it.
You know, and it was one of those things after it happened and after I started doing Ghost Biker, we we went and spoke up at Bel Air House, and it was for a almost it was like a psychic fair, and so it was something a little bit different than what I had done for other conventions. And it just so happened Bear was up there. He was speaking just before me, or no, he was speaking just after me. And I got up there, and that was one of the stories I talked about, and I ended up introducing him as the next speaker by telling that story. And so that's just one of those things I truly have no explanation for as to how
But it's awesome.
that happened. Yeah.
It was great. I mean, that's one of the things he loved to tell. That was one of his stories for the back porch. I mean, it's amazing. Who would have thunk? And then I could just see you, knowing you, I could just see him coming around the corner and you going, wait a minute.
Well, he was wearing the same hat that I drew. That's what's so crazy about it, is he had the same damn hat on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he always wore one of those hats.
And he had such a beautiful relationship with the hall.
Yes.
They truly were mourning.
Yeah.
After he passed. And I went in there, and like, me and Brandon literally had to walk out. We could hear women crying audibly. The energy was different. And he just, everything he was with that place was just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm still kind of, as you're talking, I'm kind of scrolling through the pictures here. So I know I had it somewhere on here.
Because I do know I have the card. Hold on. Let me see.
Let's see here. I'll just do a search if I can't. Let's see here.
I figured by the time I got back, he would have found it, because this is one of the ones he keeps on the wall, but I don't know how close up I can get that.
There you go. Let me see. Let me pull that as. I'll find it here at some point. But yeah, so that's actually a picture of Bear when I met him, and that was the drawing that I had drawn, and all the way down to, in my mind, I saw the different shade. I was drawing by flashlight, so it was in the dark, and I only had one pencil. So when I draw, I usually have about 12 to 15 different shaded pencils, so I can get that texture. And this was just one, and I'll have to find the actual picture. But yeah, that was
that was amazing.
I have no explanation, which is what we do, the unexplained.
Right.
So let's see here. Okay, so Bob Burnell says, I am happy to see that you're confident in your abilities now, Beth. Always knew you had that side to you, and happy that you now share that with us. So let's kind of transition into that, about talking about Soul on Blaze and what you're doing with that, as well as the Lantern Society there.
Well, Mr. Bob, thank you very much. Mr. Bob has always been a great supporter. He used to tune in on my shows, and he's always been great. I like to tell people I came out of the medium-sized closet a long time ago, and I'm clearly a 2XL, but I am not very much a look at me person. So it's taken me a long time to step in, and I've quietly helped people, and because that's what I strive to do. I feel like, God works through me when he tells me to go to work and help people. That's what I do. I've been very fortunate enough. I now have an office out at the hall where I'm able to offer readings and Reiki and spiritual counseling. I do a little bit of everything, chakra alignments, and I've really, it's given my life so much purpose, um, to help others help themselves, because I always tell them I didn't do it. I'm just helping them get to the point to where they can help themselves.
That's right.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Bob's going to make me cry. Um, um, and I can be a lot to take because I am very vocal, and with that very vocal, I'm very truthful, and some people don't accept the truth well. Um, but my hope is, I'm following, like I said, I'm following behind a man that was the man. And Night Stalkers as a whole, our family, that is our mission. If we had a mission statement, it would be to help others. And that's what we love to do. People don't understand that there's so many people out here, not going on a conspiracy theorist route, but there's a lot of people that are in mental institutions and have been over hundreds of years, that they are not, there's not something wrong with them. They're not crazy. They're just incredibly gifted people.
Hmm.
And they are able to see more of the other side than others. So that's what Soul on Blaze is all about empowering people to not just speak to a person, talk to their soul. Because when you talk to someone soul deep, you truly can understand.
Hmm.
Um, that's why when I tell people all the time, I don't talk to people, I talk to their souls, because that's what I want to know. I don't care about all this other stuff.
Hmm.
But people dim themselves, and they don't see how beautiful they are. So my mission is to help them heal soul fractures or whatever they've got going on, help them get to the next level.
Okay. And so, let's
And that was
see
not
here.
beautifully eloquent at
No, that
all,
was
but
that was very beautiful. No, that was very beautifully said. Um, and anyone that knows you, they know that as your
thank you.
mission, and anyone, if they don't know you, they will soon know once they have any little bit of a conversation with you, is that is something that your mission is to help people. And I think that's why, you and I will get on the phone, and we'll end up having, a multi-hour conversation, because they
But
are
they're great.
they're great conversations. Yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah.
deep conversations, and it is something that, you're talking on that deeper level of that, or getting a deeper understanding, I guess, of people anytime they talk to you. Um so the are you let's see, have you gotten events scheduled here for your
Not for
for
my
Soul on
not
Blaze
yet.
yet?
Not yet. I did put it in the because I'm still going to work on my website.
Hmm.
It is in the for the novice hunts. I have some
Okay.
hours blocked off. So if people like Papa put me as the sideshow attraction, I used to laugh all the time about that. He was like side attraction. I'm like, really? I'm a sideshow freak. But I am offering readings those days for a couple of hours before the novice
Okay.
hunts.
That was my question that I couldn't eloquently ask, is if
Well,
you,
I
because I know
couldn't.
I had,
I
because I know you were having, you were on some of the novice hunts that you had done in around Valentine's Day. I know that you were doing some different events there with the novice hunts, so you are going to be doing those this coming fall.
Yeah,
Okay.
when I'm gonna do like a few hours before each novice hunt, I'm
Hmm.
available. They just need to call me to schedule. And
Okay.
then, of course, when we do our February stuff from where the union occupied the hall, each
Hmm.
novice hunt, I'm always doing readings beforehand.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Um, now, so other than the novice hunts, do you have anything else that we haven't covered that of events that you've got coming up?
I'm going to be scheduling some flashlight tours leading up
Okay.
into October and then through October. I just haven't posted them yet.
Okay. And what do those flashlight tours consist of there?
Oh, those are so much fun. So I do an hour and a half. I've backed it up now that it'll be getting darker sooner. I can bring them in a little bit.
Mhm.
I do about an hour and a half tour of the property by flashlight or lantern, and then it starts out in the graveyards, and we come in, and at the end, I do like a little mock session because some people might be interested in a novice hunt and they
Mhm.
just would like to start with a flashlight tour first.
Mhm.
And it has worked out well. I learned very well from you guys because it I really like the intimate storytelling part of it,
Mhm. Yeah.
and to see how people interact. Uh, and the first one I did was my I've loved them all, but my favorite because it was not intended to happen. Um, it was one that I did a double header, and the first one it was a couple, and it was just them, myself, and Brandon. And I was doing the history, and I said, "Well, why don't we sit down in the dining room, and I'll tell you the history in here." And I knocked on the table, and when I knocked on the table, we hear boom, and Brandon and I both get up, and we go run into the women's parlor. They threw a red Solo cup full of Jolly Ranchers on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
And we're
Wow.
like, "Wait, what is going on?" Off the top shelf in the women's parlor.
Wow.
So, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. That's what I love about our flashlight tours is, because we do the same thing. It's almost like a graduating scale sort of thing because people, whether it be at rugby or at the jail with our flashlight or lantern tours, they're an hour and a half at the jail, they're 2 hours at rugby. And it gives us that really good opportunity to share the history and give you just a little taste of the paranormal because most of the people that
Yeah,
book those, especially those tours, really, really ramp up in September and October because I guess at that point, investigators are investigated out, or maybe they already have their places booked.
right.
But everybody else is feeling spooky. So the people are really going
Right.
and taking advantage of these flashlight tours. And so most of the time when they come in, we do a little bitty session up in the women's cell. And a lot of the time, as we're going through, some of our spirits are very proud of some of the things that they've done. And so we carry a tablet and we play photo, video, and audio evidence of things that either we've experienced or teams have experienced there. And so when we play it, a lot of the time we'll get interaction on the K2s, or people will start throwing things, knocking on things, and they're proud. They're like, "Hey, that's me. I did that."
I
And
know.
so it's so funny when it happens, and then a lot of those people will come back and do one of our guided ghost hunts. And some of them have even gotten a group together or have been a member of a team, and then they've ended up coming back and doing the full scale investigations. But probably about 7 out of 10 times, if somebody is interested enough, sometimes we just get them that are just a little bit
Right.
interested, but if they're interested enough, they'll come back for a guided ghost hunt because they want a more immersive experience when it comes to
And
uh,
and
the
that's
paranormal.
cool.
Hmm.
That's cool because not and I tell people all the time, it's not for everyone.
No.
So to see, and it's cool too because you have some people that they didn't think that they were interested, but after they do a flashlight tour, they want to learn more. And not everybody wants to join a paranormal team. Some
No.
people just want to have the experience. And
Hmm.
one thing that I have been heavily, I don't want to say preaching, but I kind of have been preaching is there's so many great people out there and they're so connected, but they think they have to join a team to become a paranormal investigator. And that is so not true. I was solo for a long time. And, it is what it is. You don't
Hmm.
have to join a team. There's lots of people just like you out there that they want to meet other people. Investigate with those people. You'll never know what you'll
Hmm.
learn from them.
Hmm. Plus, one of the things I've found, and so I don't know if you've experienced this at Octagon Hall, but one of the things that I've found is that teams have gotten really big now. There
Yeah,
are huge. There are some teams that are huge, and and then you also have some that, and you can tell a lot about the energy of the teams. And I think too, we also get a lot of multiple teams that are collaborating. You'll have 2 and 3 teams
yeah,
together that will come to save on cost and such. And I understand that. But you come in and you can tell the activity, or the energy. When a team has good energy, they get responses. But when I go in to clean up after the teams leave, I can tell, because it's kind of like, something's kind of weird. Something's
yeah.
a little off. What were they doing? And so I kind of feel like sometimes that it's really hard to find a good cohesive team anymore, because people are
It
trying
is.
to save money and they're trying to do things, so they're just grabbing people that they may not necessarily think about the fact that you are putting yourselves in what could be an extremely intense situation. And so that's one of the
Yes.
reasons why I'm a solo investigator, but very choosy who I investigate with, because there's certain people I don't want to be in that type of situation with, because they're either going to escalate the activity to a situation that I don't like, or maybe if it gets kind of intense, they may be someone that you don't want to be on a sinking ship with. So, you
True.
know, yeah, I just, to me, I find that, and this is just personal opinion, that it's hard to find a good cohesive team. And when you find those people that you enjoy investigating with, that has good energy, that complements each other, they know you and they know how you are. And so if a situation gets too intense, they know when something's wrong to help de-escalate the situation and to get you out of that situation. So, or to have an
I
understanding
agree.
that, yeah, that when you say it's time to go, it's time to go. So I just think that we don't see people, or I mean, we don't. I've noticed just the trend that teams have gotten bigger, and I think sometimes that sometimes people
It's
are together
overloaded.
that shouldn't, yeah, that shouldn't necessarily be together in some of these situations. But just personal opinion.
It's not. And well, it's pretty much my personal opinion as well. And you have to be very selective. And here's the thing: each person needs to have a role.
Hmm.
You can't have everybody running all willy nilly. You
Yeah.
have to know the people that you're with, on many levels, and it makes the
Hmm.
investigation better. It's better for everything all the way involved. I think I
Hmm.
recently heard of a team that had like 50 people, and I was like,
Yes.
"What? What? Wait, what?
Yes.
Uh, okay." Um,
That's not a team. That's a graduating class in a small community high school.
right, right. Like, did everybody graduate with honors? I need to know.
I mean,
I've seen,
but
and who who knows?
well, to kind of go
I have
back to what,
seen some crazy.
well, to just kind of tag on to what you said, that's why I in a long roundabout way of what I was saying, I feel like it's okay to be a solo. It's okay to
It
not
is.
form a team. I would rather somebody either get a couple friends together and come and do a guided ghost hunt than team up with people that they shouldn't really be teamed up with. Or,
I agree.
yeah,
And
because
there are some teams that work well together, but they know each
mhm,
other. Like they
yeah.
they actually have a relationship outside of that, so they know one another, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
but you can't just like, I don't know, it's like people doing things they shouldn't do on first dates. I just
No, yeah,
don't.
just because you can don't mean you should.
Right. Did
Well,
you
and
get their phone
James,
number? I'm just asking.
did you get their name? You know,
Right.
I mean, James brings up a good point. He said that the general public, in general, I think, is kind of ignorant about the paranormal. I agree with you there. One, it could be because you're either in the South and in the Bible Belt, and you
Right.
think it's
Right.
something
We
more
know
than it's
about
not.
that.
Yeah, and that's a whole other situation
Right.
and topic. But just the paranormal in general, I think that unless you're in it or have an interest in it, there is an ignorance about it. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
so thank you, James, for your comment on that, because I think and James leads public hunts down in is it Georgia or South Carolina where you I know James is from South Carolina, but I couldn't remember if he does
Right.
his hunts there in Georgia or South Carolina. But it is true that you know showing people what a novice hunt or a guided ghost hunt is like is I think an invaluable experience to people that's looking to
Oh,
try to
he's down
decide
in
if they want to get into it.
Washington.
Washington, that's it. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember. I know you do
That's
that sometimes with the Ruperts, so
is that South Georgia? I can't remember. I'm from Georgia, James. So and it is different being from different places.
yeah, yeah.
Georgia has not always been very welcoming to the paranormal. Um, that's one thing I want to change about back home because, oh, I haven't forgot about home. I'm coming back eventually. And I can do both. I can have two homes. It's not a problem.
That's right.
But I want people to understand. And as far as that ignorant goes, there's fear too. Fear
That's
comes in and it causes chaos. And
mhm,
there are so many beautiful locations. That's why I respect all the stuff that research that Chris has done with the surveys and stuff like that. That first off, I don't think anybody understands how much work that she put into that.
mhm,
That's a whole thing. The way that you all help people, as far as, we have that common goal. We want to help these small historical locations that are not funded and help them understand that, hey, if their place is haunted, it's haunted. But there's
mhm,
nothing wrong with after dark tourism. It helps. And it also you get a whole nother thing of people. Not everybody that comes to a flashlight tour is interested in the paranormal, but they do like the fact of, hey, this is different, seeing it at dark,
uh-huh.
hearing the history.
Yes,
So it's not all bad.
right. Hmm.
Now,
No,
my brother
that's
would say that.
and that's a really good point, and that's one of the things whenever we go and speak at different tourism commissions or different museums and such, people associate after dark tourism with just being about the paranormal. You will get a different audience in, and you will get people in
Yes.
that can help. And that's why every time we have a paranormal team come in, I always express to them how grateful we are for our paranormal teams that come in, because essentially we have day tours every day, we have flashlight tours, but the paranormal teams are what allows us to keep the doors open. And that funding for us is invaluable for our location. And rugby is a partnership that we have. We are not historic rugby, we're rugby after dark. So we're their partners, but we cut them a check every month for money that they're able to use however they like around the village. Also, for the rebuilding of their cafe that burned. Um, there's lots of different things that they can choose to use that money for in getting people in. So it gets a different group of people in. But if you're a
Yep.
little sensitive about the paranormal, just giving people the opportunity to come into your historic location after dark in an intimate setting that other
Yes.
people, when they're there on a day tour, even if you don't say a word about the paranormal, you will get people in that want to have a different experience. And
Yes.
especially as an intimate behind the scenes, they think they're going to be going somewhere doing something that they can't do during normal hours. So it's definitely it's definitely something I suggest. You have the building. The building is sitting there. If you have the staff,
Right.
that's a big problem, I think, is people don't have the staff or the volunteers
It's hard.
to do that. It is. It is. But if you have people that are willing to take people through after hours, why not? The building's just sitting there and it can be
Right.
revenue for your location.
And that's
Absolutely.
important. I mean, we're losing too much. And, you know, I don't, I know this is a horrible, lots of people are going to take this in a different way. So I do work with some gifted children. And, if your child is gifted, that's one thing. If you need help, if they need help, um, but I do not, we do not do the paranormal with children at Octagon
No,
Hall. Our daytime tours are just what they are, historic daytime tours.
same.
And but the beautiful thing is with flashlight tours, you're getting like late teens, and here's the catch. We were all kids. We all school. We were like, it's horrible. I hate history. I hate science. Here's the thing: if you can get them in there on the flashlight tour, the paranormal brings another aspect. You're getting
Yes.
kids interested in history because they
Yes.
have to research. They have to.
Mhm.
You're getting them interested in science.
Mhm.
And then you never know what else you're getting them interested in because for
Mhm.
some strange reason, a lot of paranormal investigators are storm chasers too. Who would have thought? But they are.
That's
So
true.
so you're
That's true.
encompassing different things. So we have to be responsible in how
Mhm.
we conduct ourselves. And if people
Mhm.
can't understand that, they don't grasp it's so much bigger than sitting in a room
Mhm.
talking to a spirit. There's so
It
much more.
it is, and look at all of the different, aspects that the paranormal has brought out. I mean, the paranormal in and of itself has so many different things when it comes to, the metaphysical side, the religious side, the spiritual side of things. Um, there's so many different facets of the paranormal, but the really cool things that have
Yes.
come out of people investigating, the content creators. Now, yeah, that's a touchy subject because you do have all the demon chasing YouTubers that go out, but
Right.
people who are, it's almost like journaling and going in and documenting. My parents were teachers, and we took the week long vacation in the conversion van in the summers when they were off school. And my dad was carrying around the big video camera that you would prop on your shoulder, and
Yep.
film with in the 80s. And so that's what we're doing now when we're going. We're documenting our
Yeah.
time with our friends, our time in these locations, and actually trying to go in and find scientific as well as historical information and data that we can go back and corroborate. So you've got the content creators, the documenters that have come out of this, which I think is so cool. You've got the podcasters, people who wouldn't even think. I was so introverted in school that it's like for me to have a conversation with somebody, especially sitting on the computer, talking to people in a chat room and people online, it would give me anxiety to no end. But you've got
Yep.
that that's come out of it, and then the people who are putting on conventions and people who are, there's a lot of different, I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot of different things that's come out of this that I think is just absolutely beautiful that you wouldn't necessarily think about when you just think of when you put paranormal in a box and just think of it
Right.
as ooh, spooky ghosts and devil worshippers and witches and, all that. It's so much more than that. It's,
That's like
you know,
Papa used to say, it's all supernatural. Like I
yeah.
commonly don't even I really don't even refer to myself as a paranormal investigator anymore.
Mhm.
I refer to myself as a supernatural researcher.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
the big joke with Melvin is he's the naked supernaturalist. So that's we just good times. That's all I got. But there's so much more if we just open our minds to it, and we can make a difference in many other ways. Some Think about it, when you're in college, people don't understand. They change their majors a million times.
Yes.
You don't
Yeah.
always necessarily do what you go into. Some of these college kids, they get out here and they're like, wait a minute, hold on. I want to be a history teacher. Or I want to be a researcher. Because
Mhm.
they get exposed to different things.
That's right.
Billy be telling the truth. Tell the truth, brother. Tell the truth.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Billy. Yes, definitely like and subscribe and follow to to all of Beth's links that I put out there. And before we get off here in a few minutes, we're definitely going to put those back up. So
I'm sorry,
um
I've just been blah 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 blah.
no, no, this is what I like. I love when I have guests
Oh,
on that I can just go
I know where
have
you're at.
conversations with.
I know where you're at.
It's
Okay,
down
James.
yeah, I was getting ready to say that it's kind of around Athens, isn't it? Like hour
Oh,
south or
he's
something like that. I think it's like an hour or so, hour and a half of south of Commerce. I think.
when I left home, I lived about an hour from Athens. I was kind of North Atlanta going up 85. So my brother lives in Commerce. So he's not far from Athens. So we're going
Gotcha.
down off 20. Okay. Or 78. I will get in
Yeah.
touch with you, James, when I'm back in the area.
And Billy brings up such a good point. The history helps determine what is actually going on. And that's what I love about these flashlight tours and what you're doing, Beth, there at Octagon Hall. Too many times when people do novice hunts or when people do guided ghost hunt events and such, they don't take the time to go over the history. And that history, yeah, the investigation is fun. And some people, we don't know what their reasons are for getting involved, but knowing that
Right.
history is imperative for these locations.
And every novice hunt that we do, I spend the start of it giving the full history of the property.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And Bob says, no offense, but is a cheap night out too. Great bang for the buck. And Billy says, spooky date night season is upon us. Yes, it is. We always say that's the best thing you can do here in September and October is to bring your date to one of our
Right.
locations as a for a lantern tour.
That'll
Uh,
determine if the relationship's gonna last.
You got that right. You got that right. Let's see. Orion says, I don't understand why some people try to say the paranormal can be bad, because it's not. We love knowing the history along with our investigations. Yeah. And let's see. There's something about the fall that is very real, and everyone can feel that. You're not kidding, Bob. I mean, it gets this time. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like when it gets
Right.
this time of year, because I'm getting close to ghost biker season, it's just, I don't know, when that temperature changes, there's just
It's
absolutely
already
something.
started. Do you have
Uh-huh.
leaves turning? We already have leaves turning.
They just started this past week. Yeah.
We've been doing it for a couple of weeks now. I'm like, wait, what's really going on?
Oh, wow. Huh. Yeah, I think we're gonna be a little earlier this year than in years past because normally it's like mid-September to October before we really start to see a big change. I think we peak there,
Right.
but of course it depends on the rain and all
True.
that. Let's see. Uh And the history that comes with investigations is amazing and possibly finding out something new. We are always, I don't know about you, Beth, but we are always finding out new stuff from our
Oh yeah.
investigations that we have. And there's nothing cooler than when you're able to find out those little pieces of history from the spirits, from the teams, and then go back and actually
Yeah.
validate it. I mean, that's,
That's the fun part.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Ada says, "Hey, Sister Beth from West Virginia."
Hey Ada, love you.
And Sonia says, "Washington is not far from Athens." James just sent you a friend request.
Thank you,
And
sir.
see, that's what we do here. We're bringing friends together
That's what
here
we
with the
do.
show. That's right, creating friendships.
And
And
Sonia, she's in Georgia as well, right?
she is, yeah, yeah. She's
Okay.
in Georgia. And Nancy says, "How low are the hornets' nest?" I haven't noticed because that'll tell. That's right. James
Oh
says
yeah.
building family. That needs to be the yeah.
Yeah.
I need to have like some type of some type of slogan tagline. I've
Right.
already
That's a new
decided.
Ghost Spiker shirt.
There you go. I've already decided, Taylor Swift has her Swifties. I think I'm going to create I think I'm going to start calling my people in the chat room the youngins with my
There you
last name
go.
Young there.
There you go.
We're going to be the youngins.
Yes.
um and then
It's a whole nother part of the James gang.
there you go. There you go. And let's see. We love the fact that they ask about Selly in our investigation. Yeah, I mean, they will ask about Selly or jail cat in investigation, and that's cool that they got where they were asking about her. Sonia
Selly
said,
is phenomenal. Like she is quite the investigator. I don't care what anyone says. Selly has seen more than any of us could ever dream of.
Yep, yep. And Ada says the hornet's nests here are high in the trees.
Yeah,
And
she's over there in West Virginia.
Bob says you need to make us all a ring, damn it.
Now, Mr. Bob, if I ever get to come to Massachusetts, because it's on the bucket list, I'm coming to see you.
Now, see, James says he's sure he's older than me and he can't be a youngin. See, everybody can be a youngin if you follow my show.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole movement.
It is forever young. If you follow Ghost Biker, yep, you'll be the youngins. That don't sound Tennessee and country at all, but
No, no, no.
but I'm proud of my heritage, so
Hey,
but
look, it's a whole thing for me because I'm not sure which ones have been there, but I mean I can verify that Frank and Jesse James have been to Octagon Hall. So I
we
can't
have
say
at the
that some of the
jail.
younger gang hasn't been there as well. So just saying.
Well, and that's a tie in there because we Frank and Jesse they lived at one of the hotels there in Huntsville for 8 months and ran a feed and seed store right in front of the jail for 8 months.
I'm telling you that they were the most, I don't care what anybody says, out of everybody in history, Frank and Jesse have been a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah, they have. They have. Oh, thank you, Sonia.
Yep.
It
Sonia,
is
I'll tell
quite
you why it's so awesome for everybody else to know. That's because of Miranda Young. That's why we have an amazing website.
oh. Oh, well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. That was a true honor to be able to do that for you and Bear. When Bear reached out to me about designing that, I was very nervous because it's Bear
You
and
shouldn't
it's
be. You're the
Octagon
best.
Hall. But I loved working on that project. So I really appreciate that. But yes, we're getting here to the bottom of the hour here. If you want to go ahead and promote your pages again, like I said, we got them in the show notes. I'm going to pull them up right quick just so folks can see them and promote those novice hunts too.
Well, I'm looking forward to some of the new TikTok stuff that we're going to have coming out. But we are on, of course, our website, octagonhallmuseum.com. You can find us on Facebook, TikTok. I'm going to expand some other stuff here shortly. I am on Facebook with Soul on Blaze and the Lantern and Lore Society, or you can just follow me on the Beth Allen page. I spend more time there than anywhere else. The novice hunts are starting the first weekend of October. We do still have some spots left, and I'm going to be posting some flashlight tours and hopefully do some more fun stuff. I would have done the show tonight from Octagon Hall, but currently our internet provider is down everywhere in Kentucky. So, but that's something. We do have a very important announcement that I'm going to release probably in about 2 weeks. And it's something I'm very excited about, and it is to honor Bear. Those of you who don't know who he was, his name was Barry Gaunt, but he will always be our Bear. He was a very well-known, and he was a staple in the paranormal community, UFOs, cryptids, you name it. He had over 47 years of experience in the field, and he was a father figure, a grandfather, a teacher, a mentor to many of us. And I'm going to do something to celebrate just how important he was to us. So I will be putting out those details probably 2 weekish. And it's going to be amazing.
I think that I kind of know a little bit about it, and I think you guys are definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. I'm going to pull up a quick picture of just a quick one that I found there. We've been talking about Night Stalkers and Billy and Melvin and Bear there. I mean, and Tanya, can't forget Tanya. But yeah, if you didn't know Bear, you truly missed out, because there was he was a legend, and there was none other like him.
Oh yeah,
and there never will be.
Mm-mm.
So,
And
so I can't wait.
that other guy over there, that Mr. Melvin, now y'all got to watch him. That's my pops. That's who we refer to as the hound dog. That is the man when it comes to research, no matter what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, class act, folks, none better. So I love every opportunity when I hear that Night Stalkers is at an event, or that they're going to be at the hall when I'm there, or whatever. I'm always excited, and Melvin always makes it a point to be able to come by and give a big hug. They're just great folks. So definitely you're going to want to stay tuned and look forward to that announcement, because it's going to be something people are going to want to be a part of, I think.
I hope so.
So, but like I said, Beth, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We have
Thank
a
you
great
for having
show.
me.
Yeah. And guys, as Billy said earlier on, definitely go on, like, follow, and subscribe to Soul on Blaze, the Lantern and Lore Society, Octagon Hall website there. Check out the beautiful Miss Beth Allen there on her page, and you're going to find a lot of things you're going to want to be a part of there. And next week we have a great show. We've got a guest coming on for the first time. I know you know him, Beth, and he's very, very interesting. Mr. James Stokes is going to be my guest, and he is an actor. He's played Jason in
Yep.
the Jason franchise there. We'll be talking more about specifically. And I know he's done a lot of other roles as well. And he is a paranormal investigator. And so we're going to be talking paranormal. We're going to be talking acting. We're going to be talking horror because we're moving into horror season. Do you like horror movies, Beth?
Yes.
Nice.
Some I like
Nice.
the ones based on true stories, you know.
Me too.
But
Me
James
too.
is a
Those are the
nice dude.
scariest. Yes.
James is a nice dude, so I mean, you can't go wrong. He's a great guy.
No, very, very sweet. And so, so the only problem, the only thing that might change that is if we get some tour or something
Right.
booked that night. If we get an investigation booked, I will still be doing the show from from the jail there. The reason I didn't do it, of course, you know, Orion's was booked there. Them in Twin Springs Paranormal were booked at the jail last Thursday night. But I had two funerals that I went to during the day with my mom, and so I was gonna do the show last week. Beth was going to be my guest last week, and after those two funerals, I just didn't have it in me to do it
Mm-mm.
during the investigation, and so so yes, that will be the only thing that will change if um, if we get a tour or something next week. But otherwise, next week at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be back with a great guest, and we're counting down to the Ghost Biker Explorations season premiere. We'll be releasing a trailer here very, very soon. It's going to be a great season, season 8. Like I said at the top of the show, a new episode, a new live
Yes.
episode every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, followed up by a Thursday night Behind the Screams, where we'll be breaking down the episode and talking about some what we've experienced during the show. So, always looking forward to that. I always get super excited and stressed out and everything leading here to spooky season. And then you throw in the jail, throw in rugby on top of that. It's going to be a nonstop go, go, go month, but I can't wait. And like I said, season 8, here we come. So, all right, guys. So, you all have a wonderful week. If you're in the line of any of these storms, we were just talking about it earlier. We have had storms all day long.
Oof.
We're at the season where the cold fronts are coming through and the storms are popping up. I know you all are in line for that tomorrow, Beth. So
Oh yeah.
please be
Not
safe.
looking forward to it. I'll
No,
be in the
no,
basement at the hall.
no better place to be. That place is set up for.
Right. It's my go-to. That's my shelter. If they say a tornado's coming, I may be 6 miles away, but I am driving to the hall and getting in the basement.
There you go. There you go. All right, everyone. Will you all stay safe? Have a great night, and we will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.